Reading. Hi, guys. All right, we're going on a trip. We're going to do some armchair traveling today, and we're going to get in a comfy spot. And I have some great poems here on April 24th to share with you. We're celebrating National Poetry Month, and today I'm going to read Clackety poems about trains, and they're written by Skyla Brown and illustrated by Jamie Kristoff. And look at that beautiful engine chugging up the tracks. I love it. It's a beautiful bright red shiny engine, and I like this opening page here with this tunnel, and the train must have come out. Here it goes. It's going across a bridge, and it's going way off into somewhere, and it's just so fun to sit and look at the picture and imagine, where's that train going? Looks like it's heading towards a city. Oh, yeah, armchair traveling, that's for sure. So I think I'll start you off with one of the first poems in the book. It's called Morning in the Yard. So let me find a good way to hold my book of trains for you. Morning in the Yard, where the day begins. Maybe if I sit back, it might be actually better. Let's try that. Just tilt that down a bit. Morning in the yard. The sun's up. It's morning in the yard. The trains move on their private boulevard. Look close. Not every train's the same. Let's see how many we can name. As they depart from where they're stored, come on, hop on now. It's all aboard. Woo, woo. Yeah, here we go. So here's the first train poem I want to share with you, and it's called Freight Train. Freight Train. So hopefully you guys can see that okay. Freight Train. There's nothing plain about a train. White striped engines lead the chain. Cars curved and straight, open, enclosed, pallet piles and logs exposed. Clankin' cran, pack on wheels, racin' rainbow made of steel. Rows of grooves, cables and bars, graffiti rockin' out the cars. A badge of rust, a proud oil stain. There's nothing plain about a train. Yeah. I hope you guys like trains. They are so fun to watch. And this one's got its graffiti painted on some of the cars. I like how she described this train to look like a box of crayons, a palette of crayons. And she also called it a racing rainbow made of steel, because trains are made of steel, but they're all the colors of a rainbow. And have you ever sat at a train track, maybe waiting for a train to go by, and you're sitting in your car and you just watch all those colors go by? It's just so fun to watch. I actually have a poem to share with you that takes place at a train crossing. And so here's a little family in their car, and they're waiting here. The cross gates are down, keeping you from going over. The sign here says railroad crossing, and when those lights are flashing red, that means you can't go. So this is just about the tracks. Did you ever look closely at train tracks? Tracks. Stretched web path, no start, no end. Crisscross the ground, around a bend. Wood ties, steel beams, locked tight, secure. Around things move, tracks stay, endure. Tracks wait to see which train will come. A shudder felt, hiss of brake drum, start of a song, click-clack refrain. Listen, hush, here comes the train. So I think this is sort of like the tracks are telling us what they feel when the train is coming. I like that. I like that a lot, yeah. And they never end. They don't start, they don't end. They just keep going. And they feel the train when it's coming. I like that one a lot. I did read a little fact in this book. There's a lot of different facts in here. And it talked about how the rocks that are filled in between each of the wood's ties that hold the track in place, that's there for a very important reason. For one thing, it holds the weight of the train, so it keeps those tracks from shifting. So it has to be in a firm, secure place. That's what it says, locked tight, secure. And around everything, around the tracks, things move, but there they stay in place. And so the stone keeps those tracks in place. But it also helps to drain water off the tracks, or if there's snow, it helps to give a place for that water or snow melt to drain to. So that's kind of interesting. And let's see, this one is kind of neat too. The engine, I bet you guys know your train names better than I do, but I do know the engine, and this is a big steam engine. It goes by burning coal, and then it poofs out this black dirty smoke. It's good we really don't have these so much anymore, except now they're like tour trains. But long ago, this was the way to travel. This was the only way that could power a train. They had to burn the coal. This is called steam engine. Biggest beast you've ever seen, gobbling up a coal cuisine. 100 tons of steel machine, belching out a steam smoke screen. That's a good word, belching. That's just like an ugly burp of black smoke. Yeah, that's a good way to describe that for sure. Let's see here. I'm going a little bit out of the order I wanted to read it in. Let's see, we read some freight train poems. Now I have a passenger poem. This one is a really fast train called a bullet train, and I read in my facts in the back of the book that a bullet train can go 300 miles an hour. That's so fast. So here's bullet train, jet train, sleek and slick, land plane, quick, 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 faster than a cheetah, racing down a hill. Step up close and brace for a whooshy, wind-blown thrill. Yeah, if you stood by that, look, the man's hat's blowing up, his hair's blowing, girl's hair's blowing, her coat's blowing. That is one fast train. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in a subway train. Maybe you've gone to the city, like New York City or Philadelphia, and you've ridden on an underground train called a subway. I really like this poem a lot. It's called The Underground Train, and it talks about all the people who ride the train and what's going on. It's such a busy train, and it's underground. So you can see here the boy's, he's running down the steps from above where the main city is. He's carrying his skateboard down. He's going to take the train to the next town, which is really a fun way to travel. And there's people getting on and people getting off. There's people riding. Some have to stand. Some get to sit. Some are reading. Some are playing computer games. This guy's reading the newspaper. So here we go. The Underground Train. And I like this one. This kind of sound. You can hear the sound, the chugging sound of the train. Deeper than the moles dig, the worms dig, the mice dig. Deeper than the rats dig is the underground train. It's filled with announcement sounds, beeping sounds, door closing sounds, the clanking and the breaking sounds, the squeal and the strain. Oh yeah, they can squeal a lot, the brakes squeal. It travels through with pipes above, rocks above, homes above, traffic stopped on streets above as it zooms along. So it's just moving underground, has no idea what's going on above ground. People go below the ground, work bound, homebound, people flowing up and down, and all they steady throng. Constantly people taking these trains. Inside the cars are laughing people, sleeping people, reading people, workers, babies, older people ride it every day. Underneath the smog-filled streets, the crowded streets, the sizzling streets, deep below the stop-still streets is the cool subway. Yes. Makes me want to go somewhere and ride a train. It's fun to ride the subway. Fun to ride the subway. I guess that's about all I have for you. I did have an interesting, this is in the back of the book if you borrow this or you decide you want to buy it. There's some really nice, interesting facts that I learned about trains. And I did want to share this one fact with you about tunnels. I think this is, because I like this in the very beginning of the book with that, where it starts out with the train coming through. Can you see that? Here's the tunnel right here. The train goes through the tunnel in the side of a mountain. They put tunnels in sides of mountains just because it would take too long to build the tracks going up and over the hill. So they cut right through the mountain. And I read that there is a tunnel in the Swiss Alps, which is a mountain chain in Europe, and it is 35 miles long. That took a lot of digging by people who worked really, really long hours to build that train tunnel. That's amazing. Well, I'm going to get back to doing some of my armchair traveling, and I'm going to get chugging along here.